So I just thought I'd go through the ultimate facial setup with you all. Now, this type of facial, you don't necessarily need to wear gloves. Lots of practitioners prefer not to wear gloves to really get in with that massage. However, some practitioners have sensitive skin, so absolutely choose to wear gloves throughout the session. What I would say if you choose not to wear gloves is just to make sure that you do put on your gloves on for the extraction element of the facial. So once you've done your consultation with your client and you have got them on the bed, the first thing you are going to do is just pop a hairnet on your client, and then you are going to start with a cleanse. It's worth getting into the habit of using the products as you would within your assessments. But what you want to do with your products is take the lid off, use a disposable, take the product out, put it on the back of your hand or your glove, and then you put the lid back on, and then you start working the cleanser within your client's skin. You will use the water that you've got in your water bowl and give their skin a really good cleanse. What you're going to do after you've done that first cleanse is you're going to move on to your skin analysis. And for our skin analysis, we use our magnifying lamp. And we have a look at their skin, we have a feel, and we see if there is anything we need to avoid or anything we need to point out to our client. Once we've done the skin analysis, we take a picture. So you can take a picture before the skin analysis, after the skin analysis, just so you've got that for your files. If need be, you can do a second cleanse. Within the assessments, it's important to do a second cleanse because we will have then determined what skin type our clients have. So if, for example, you do have various skin ranges, you have a sensitive skin range, you have a calming skin range, you have a hydrating skin range, then when you go on to a second cleanse, you use the right cleanser. I mean, for our ultimate facial, we literally just use the Evolve range, and we do 1 or 2 cleanses depending on what that client needs. After we've done the cleanse, we move on to our exfoliating product. So we're going to give the client a lovely exfoliate. Before we start the exfoliate, we pop on the steamer just to get that heated up. Always remember to keep your steamer pointing upwards. You do not want that steam anywhere near you or your client because it can be dangerous. After we've done our exfoliate, obviously we're going to use our cotton pads to remove the cleanser, to remove the exfoliator. We then go on to the steam. It's really important to note whenever you're using the steamer, your client's eyes are covered with cotton pads. A little bit of water on the pads just to hold those pads down. We do not want to dry your client's eyes out. It is a health and safety risk if you are not covering your client's eyes. So we are going to steam, and once we've steamed, we move on to extraction. So within the ultimate facial, we can use our fingers. So I would always put gloves on, use our fingers with some cotton pads. You can use extraction tools. We've got a little scraper, which you'll learn within your ultimate facial training. So there are various methods of extraction. Once we've extracted, we use our toner. We just pop some toner onto our cotton pads, pop that onto the skin just to close down their pores. And then we move on to the massage element. So we use our Bioretinol Vitamin C Booster, which is like an oil type serum. And then we move on to either massage, ice globes for lymphatic drainage. We've got gua sha for lifting and tightening the skin. I mean, you can combine a facial that has all three. So you do your massage, your ice globes, and your gua sha. For me personally, I'll use oil and I'll do a bit of a massage, and then I'll use the ice globes, which I absolutely love. But some clients prefer the gua sha if they want a little bit of lifting. So we've got our serum and then our massage techniques. Once we have done our massage techniques and applied the serum, we use our Bioretinol Gold Mask. Once that mask is on, so we apply it the same way with our little spatula onto our hand. I always get rid of all the dirty bits and bobs in a little kidney dish below the top tray or into a little pedal bin next to you. pop it onto your hand, and then I would use the brush to pop the mask onto your client's skin. And I sometimes do figure of 8 motions and kind of just massage that mask in with the brush, which feels so lovely. Once that mask is in, I'm going to come down to here. We will use our portable high frequency device, which is really nice. It literally just puts electrodes into the skin, which brings the blood to the surface, which helps induce collagen and elastin. It doesn't hurt. It's a really lovely element to the treatment. And I would probably want to leave that mask on for sort of 5 to 10 minutes. Once you remove the mask with your cotton pads and water, we come on to the final stages of the facial, where we moisturize, we put on some eye cream, and then we put on the SPF. Always remember at the end of the facial to do your aftercare.